What is going on, guys? What's happening? Come on in, guys. Come on in. Let's get this show started. Want to make sure that you guys can hear me just fine, and it looks like that I can hear myself. So we are all good to go, man. Welcome to another Monday, another great Monday, May the 5th, Cinco de Mayo, they say. Many of you guys probably going to be going out to eat, or you're probably already celebrating. I'm in the beautiful San Antonio, and you know the party is happening on this Monday. But you know what? I'm not going to be partying at all because, man, your boy is getting over something nasty. I came down with a little virus last week, guys. I mean, I've been under the weather, got a little runny nose, a little congestion going on. But the good thing about it is I am over the hump. I think I'm about 80% right now. So, I think by the end of this week right here, I'll be back to 100%. But man, on Tuesday night, I don't know what it was, but that thing jumped on me, gave me the chills, gave me some body aches, and it only lasted for a good 24, 36 hours. And by Wednesday evening, I was feeling better. That's the crazy thing about it. I don't know what it was. I must have picked it up from a little kid or something like that. I know they said there was some virus that was going around and it knocked people out for a good 24 hours. Maybe that was it. But good thing is I'm feeling better, but a little bit of congestion, guys, a little bit of congestion. It's been a good Monday. It's been a fabulous Monday. Hopefully you guys had a great start to your week and you are productive and you were productive today and you still are getting some work done. And now you're tuning in to me for me to give you this game on what's going on around the world and related to layoffs and the job market, as well as evictions, because that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about the layoffs that's happening right now. We're going to react to some layoff videos because people are going through some tough times right now. And we also are going to react to some eviction videos today as well, too, because when you have layoffs like that and you have the job market and you have landlords that are hiking up rates and prices and hiking up rents. Oh man, you're finding some people who are in a terrible state. And what I want to do is prevent you guys from being in this state yourself and from a financial position, but also from a career position as well too, how to protect yourselves from that. So that's going to be our show today, guys. Let me tell you guys what's been going on with me regarding this weekend, man. Outside of being sick, sports was good this weekend. My daughter's team lost, but they played a lot better. They are showing some significant improvement from the first game, second game, and third game. I started to work with them in their fourth game. And in the little 2 weeks that I've been helping with their practices, they've shown a significant improvement. I would tell you like this also, I'm learning a lot about coaching girls. I've never coached an all girls team. And I don't think it's really for me. I'll just tell you guys like this, man. I don't think coaching an all girls team is for me. I'm a direct, tell you how it is kind of a guy. And I'm not sure um, if I'm the type of guy that can coach all girls. I just don't know yet. I'm learning a lot. It's taking me outside of my comfort zone. Things that you can say, things you can't say. I'm learning a lot, and I think it's cool that I'm in a position to help coach these young girls and just be able to see the attitudes. You got 10-year-olds, and some young girls are just like cool, like my daughter, where she has a strong male figure in her life who's has a personality like me, like you guys see on the Monday, right? And if many of you guys have met me, you know my personality as well too. But somebody who's pretty bullish on life and likes to have a good time and really command respect and stuff like that. And many kids don't come from households like that. And some girls are more not used to that. And some girls are really into their looks and they just want to be out there to be out with their friends and that sort of stuff. And I'm the type of guy who will call that sort of stuff out. Like, hey, why are you touching your hair right now? You should be playing defense. You know what I mean? Like, and it may rub people the wrong way. So I'm learning a lot by coaching girls. But anyway, the improvement is what's most important. And I mean, I am very proud of the girls' efforts, at least the majority of them, towards their basketball game. My son's team dominated. AJ freaking scored 16 points in the first quarter. He went off. It was fun to see, fun to watch. Sunday, we had a good football game, and my team crushed another team. So very good weekend of sports. The weather here has been fantastic. Just a fantastic weekend. Me and my wife are going to the Post Malone Jelly Roll concert on Wednesday, so we're very excited about that. We flew my niece in to help babysit because we're really bougie. We don't like a lot of people to babysit our kids. We are those type of people that we'll fly in our niece to come in and help to babysit, for a night versus, having people around our kids that we don't know. So that's just kind of what we do. It doesn't happen all the time. I tell my wife that we're going to have to figure out the babysitter situation one of these days. We can use neighbors and stuff like that, but we haven't gotten very comfortable with letting anybody watch our kids. And we're not the only ones. Maybe you guys who are in the chat listening to this, you completely understand it as well too. That's the difficult thing about not having family around, is you don't always have a babysitter that you can trust and you can rely on. So, with us living in a different state from the majority of our family members, it's very hard to find a babysitter. And we've moved around so much to where you just don't trust a lot of people with your kids. I don't do it. Even, friends that I know, it's for us. We have to really, really trust you in order for us to, allow for our kids to spend quality time with you. But that's just us. Anyway, that was my weekend. Fantastic weekend. Hopefully you guys had a fantastic weekend as well, guys. Hopefully you had a fantastic weekend as well. Let me see who's all in the chat. We got Brother Christian Emerson in the house. Brother Christian is going to be with us next week, I believe starting next Wednesday, man. Very excited to have Brother Christian and his wonderful girlfriend, Erica, come down here to spend some time with us down in the San Antonio area. Very excited about it. Christian, we was just talking about you because Carissa is in town, my niece. And we were just talking about how you're going to be here next week. So exciting times, guys. Operation Tech Takeover, good to see you. He says, keep some zinc on hand, family. It will cut the duration in half if you catch it early enough. Lovely, man. And I can use some of that zinc right now. I tell you that, Brother Scott. I'm gonna have to pick some of that up too. I'm gonna go to Walgreens probably tomorrow. I got to go to Lowe's too to hang this curtain rod that my son snatched down. So I'll stop at Walgreens and pick up some zinc. Who else is in the house? Life of Cam is in the house. Good day, Mr. Wade. Hopefully you closed on your real estate. Life of Cam, don't be that landlord that we're going to be talking about who's raising all kinds of rents today. Matter of fact, if you do it, I love it. Because I'm going to tell you like this. I'm about to be raising rents as well too, man. I'm about to be raising rents. I'm not going to care about hurting people's feelings and stuff like that. I'm just going to raise rents. I haven't raised rents in quite some time, and I need to get back to the market. So good to see you, NC Realtor. Good to see you as well. Love it. Love it. Christian says, when my kids were smaller, I was very picky on who watched my kids. Thankfully, I did have family to help. It's one of those things where we just don't trust a lot of people, Christian. And, as a family, it's hard, man. Like, your kids are your pride and joy, in having anybody, spend time with them. Because there's they go to a Christian school and there's, kids, parents who have kids that would love to babysit our kids. But it's like, even if it's a 16-year-old girl who goes to the high school, yes, she can do it. And I'm sure she'd be just fine doing it. But it's kind of like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want any influences. I don't want any of that outside stuff that may make its way in towards my daughter or my son. So we just refrain from letting anybody babysit our kids besides family members. So that's how we are. Guys, let's jump into the topic of today. Well, before we even get there, let's jump over to the sponsors for today. And one other thing, let's make sure that you guys, when you come in, you remember to hit the like, share, and subscribe. We are growing this channel. We are at 57,000, guys. Can you believe we're at 57,000 subs? Man, that's insane. We have been growing this year, and I am very excited about it. But make sure that you hit the like button when you come into the channel today. If you are catching us on any other platforms outside of YouTube, guys, check out the YouTube channel. That's where we're growing the majority. I love that you're watching us on Facebook. I love that you guys watch us on Twitter. I love that you watch us on whenever I have it on Instagram or TikTok. I love that you watch us on there. But YouTube is the primary channel. That's also when you can interact with the folks in the chat as well, too. So appreciate all you guys. Just want to let you know that YouTube is where it's popping at, okay? Sponsors for today. Sponsors for today is Level Careers, guys. If you want to break into cybersecurity, go ahead and check out our partners, Level Careers. Also, if you are interested in tech sales, because tech sales is massive and tech sales is where you get to the money. That's the career that I'm currently in. Guys, go ahead and check out Level Careers. Check them out, Level Careers, for your introduction to cybersecurity. Also, your introduction into tech sales. Level Careers are sponsors today. Guys, let us go ahead and break it down. I want to talk about the layoffs that's happening right now. I'm going to give you guys a quick overview before we dive into a video review of what's going on in the layoff market, man. There's so many layoffs that's going on right now, and you guys need to know about it. You guys don't know about it, but you need to know about it. I'm going to use my friend Perplexity right now. Check out Perplexity. And I asked Perplexity, which is an AI tool that you guys should be using. If you aren't using Perplexity, you're missing out. It's one of the coolest tools out there. Gives you the latest and greatest information throughout the web and other sources as well, too. So I asked my friend Perplexity, what layoffs happened week ending May 4th? Because May 5th, I look at the week starting Monday through Sunday. So we checked it out, right? And it gave me an overview of all the companies that have laid people off in the month of April. Let's jump there, okay? Intel, they announced 21,000 positions that they were cutting in April of 2025. Expedia, they didn't say how many they were letting people, how many people they were letting go, but they're letting a lot of people go as well. Automatic, which is the WordPress.com. You guys remember, or you probably using WordPress for your websites and whatnot. They laid off 16% of its workforce, over 270 employees. Five9 cut 123 jobs, about 4% of its workforce. Ysoft ceased operations in China, impacting 2,000 employees after Trump put them tariffs on them. Getting rid of the jobs, guys. Getting rid of jobs. Sprinkler let go of 500 employees, 15% of its workforce. Sonos cut approximately 200 employees. Workday laid off 1,700 employees, guys, 8.5% of its workforce. Okta cut 180 employees. Salesforce eliminated 1,000 jobs. Meta, Google, Microsoft ongoing layoffs, with Microsoft reportedly planning further cuts in May. Guys, industry total for the month of April, okay, 23,000 tech jobs were cut in April, the highest monthly total this year. So 23,000 was in April. That's higher than January. That's higher than February. And that's higher than March. What is May going to look like? What is May going to look like? But it's just not happening with the tech industry. Automotive was laying off people. Tesla, they laid off 6,000 people. With Elon going through as much crap that he's gone through, and they're looking to potentially replace him at Tesla as the CEO. What's happening there? Obviously, if their stock is dropping because of revenues, right? Cars aren't selling, people aren't buying. So what do they have to do? In order for their stock price to increase, they have to lay people off. That's just what CEOs do. That's what companies do. In order for your stock to go up, you have multiple ways to do it. You got multiple levers to do it. If you guys go to grad school, you'll figure this out, right? You grow top line revenue, control your expenses, or if you're not growing top line revenue, you have to have higher profits, right? And how do you have higher profits if your revenues aren't growing? Well, you got to cut. You got to eliminate a whole bunch of people. You have to eliminate a whole bunch of things that you're doing. And that's the only way you do it. So Tesla, they're laying off a whole bunch of people. Hino Motors, a Toyota subsidiary, announced 1,300 layoffs in the U.S. Siemens announced 5,600 global layoffs in automation. Norfolk laid off 2,800, 62% of their staff after bankruptcy. That's the automotive and manufacturing sector. Guys, banking and financial services. You know, I said this last week. I said, the guy asked a question to, I think it was you, where are you at? Brother Ant Dog. What's happening in Houston? And Ant Dog said, you know what? Things are popping. Things are going very well in Houston. And then, you know, I kind of said, all right, with all these layoffs going on, I wonder if it's just my view. Well, here's the data right here. Well, a lot of times, you know, we can live in our world to where life is good, and we live in our box, our little square, our little under a rock, as some people may say, to where we don't hear about all these things going on. But I have a post on it, and my post is the number of videos that people are putting out on TikTok. My post is the number of Reddit posts that I get triggers on related to layoffs, and it's constant, and it's constant, and it's constant, and it's constant. And then when you go you scour the web and you see all these companies laying off people, 23,000 in the month of April for just the tech industry. You see, this has to be for the automotive industry, 6,000 plus 1,300 plus 5,600. That's already 13,000 plus another 2,800. That's 16,000 people in the automotive and manufacturing section. Banking, we haven't even gotten to that yet. Banking, Citigroup announced 4,500 job cuts. TSB Banking Group announced 250. Block announced 931. Just Works announced 200. We're not even talking about retail. Now, retail doesn't look like it's been hit that bad for the month of April, but Nike laid off 740. Wayfair laid off 730. Vacasa laid off 800. Redfin cutting 450. That's a lot of people that's being laid off, guys. Technology, 2,300. Automotive manufacturing, 15,000 plus. Banking and financial services, 5,800. Retail and e-commerce, 2,700 plus. Pharmaceuticals and healthcare, 2,000. Transportation, aviation, Southwest Airlines, Bird, 2,100. Cybersecurity, 500. Energy and utilities, 400. Guys, that's a lot of people, man. That's a lot of people. So, you know, for me, what this tells me is that the economy isn't doing as good as we think it is. That's just the reality of it. The economy is doing as good as we think that it's doing. What's your perspective on that, guys? I want to know what your perspective on it. I can tell you this right now. My post is, or my feeling is that there's a lot of people that's hurting right now. I think that we may be in, well, matter of fact, I already said this, and many of you guys have heard me say this, right? I think we've been in a recession. I think they're cooking the data or leaving certain parts of the data out to not cause a panic. I think we know that we're in a recession. I think even though the job reports for last month was decent, we're in a recession. I personally think that we're in a recession. And things are only going to look better in another year and a half, where policies and stuff like that start to shape and form itself. But I think that things are just terrible. And you're going to see based on the data that I share with you guys today. And you're going to see based on the evidence of people sharing their stories of how they've been laid off, why they're being evicted. That there's a lot of people that aren't doing good. So if you are in a position right now where you got a job, you're in a position right now where life is good, and you're in a position right now where you're able to take vacations, be happy about that. Be happy about that, because there's not a lot of people that are. If you're in a position right now where you're just getting out of school and you can't find a job, that's messed up. Let's think about it. You spend 4 years of your life going to school, getting an education, following what everybody said, and then next you know you're filling out thousands and thousands of applications and you don't get a job. That sucks. That sucks. Now, there is something that you can do about it, of course. You can book a coaching call with us, but you guys haven't done that. So I'll leave that into your hands to make sure that you're doing what's in the best interest of yourself. But you can always book a coaching call with us at www.blackheights, and we'll make sure that we get you right. But some people are just hurting right now. You know, I got a niece who's with us right now, Carissa. You know, she's working for Deloitte. Okay. She went to University of Oklahoma, graduated, and she has a job at Deloitte. And she's doing fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And there's a lot of people who graduated with her around the same time, not just from Oklahoma or not from Oklahoma. They didn't go to the University of Oklahoma. But they don't have jobs. A lot of her friends who graduated from different schools, they don't have jobs. It's hard for them to find jobs. One of the cool things I loved about her experience that she shared with me was that University of Oklahoma, they pride themselves on making sure that their graduates get jobs, especially in management information systems and especially in their business school. That's one of the things that they're known for is their career services and ensuring that they reach out to their alumni and they have so many people coming to their campus to ensure that their kids and their students get jobs. That's what schools are doing. That's what schools are doing. And that's what good schools are doing. So if you are somebody who's thinking about going to school, don't just choose any school, because in an economy like we're in right now, in an economy that we are in right now, the best schools are going to be the ones that are helping you to find jobs. They're going to be the ones that's doing what I'm doing for my folks, career services, helping them figure out what it is that they want to do, putting them in front of the right people, that sort of stuff. You got to choose the right school. You got to choose the right major. Those are all important things that you need to do. But guys, you heard about the jobs. You see the number of people who don't have jobs. I just showed you. Let me do a quick recap if you're just joining the chat. If you're just joining the show today. Here's a quick recap on the numbers, and I'll show the chart. I'll flash it for you guys real quick. Here you go. Technology, 23,000 estimated layoffs from April to early May. From the automotive and manufacturing industry, 15,000 plus. Banking and financial services, 5,800. Retail and e-commerce, 2,700. Pharmaceuticals and healthcare, 2,000. Transportation and aviation, 2,100. Cybersecurity, 500. Energy and utilities, 400. If you guys see based on this data, what industries would you guys be pursuing if you are coming out of school? I will tell you which one I would be. Cybersecurity, energy and utilities, these two. Transportation and aviation ain't too bad, but cybersecurity and energy and utilities, those are the industries that seem to be doing a lot better than some of the others. Technology right now, we're getting killed. Technology is being killed. Highest on the list. 23,000. That's a lot of people, man. A lot of people laid off. But let's do this. Now, I want to show you guys, right? I want to show you some of the people who are having a very, very tough time in this economy. And we're going to talk about it. Let's flip it over real quick.
Y'all, I was laid off today.
Happy Monday, just got fired.
So your last working day is today.
So I got laid off today.
Then there's losing your job because the whole company is disappearing.
Y'all,
You heard it. You heard it. People getting laid off. People getting laid off today. I saw it on Reddit that a young lady was laid off today. I saw it on Reddit that a young man was laid off today. I saw it on Reddit that an older man was laid off today. I saw it on Reddit that a senior project manager, she was a lady, was laid off today. It's all over the internet. It's all over TikTok. It's all over Reddit. It's happening. It is happening. Let's listen to this young lady's story right here. I want to show you guys that it's not just happening to people in the U.S. either. It's happening to people in different countries. Check it out.
I was laid off today after being at my company for 13 years. I'm just trying to process this and wrap my mind around it. I just had a baby. I just purchased a home. There's just like a lot of things that I'm thinking about right now. Of course, my baby, he don't understand what's going on. He don't understand that mommy needs a moment. But and I'm just so upset because it's like Trump with these tariffs, it has everyone scared. We import a lot of stuff. I worked at a home shopping network where we import a lot of our stuff from China. So they're like, we need to cut. We don't know how this is going to affect our company. So I completely understand. I felt like it was coming. When you work somewhere for so long, you get annual raises. So I was getting paid pretty well. I'm not going to say that I wasn't. But all I had requested was, please give me a heads up. Like, if my job is in jeopardy, please let me know. Like, the last thing I want to do is, like, be called into a conference room with HR and just know what they're about to say. But, like...
They let go after 13 years working for the Home Shopping Network. She said it was because of Trump's and tariffs. That's happening across multiple industries now, guys. I know companies that I manage and companies that I do business with and we do business with. Projects are on hold. Tariffs. Don't know where the economy is going. Going to hold off right now and sit tight until things are a lot clearer. Her company said, you know what? We're importing a whole bunch of stuff. We can't sell any. We can't make a profit by importing this stuff from China or wherever else we're importing it from because it's going to cost too much. So what are they doing? They're saying, all right, well, you know what? We got to lay people off. She just had a baby. The company took care of her for 13 years. But guys, you know something here. Listen to what she said. She was getting the raises, right? Company was treating her well. She spent her time, 13 years there, and she got laid off. And one of the things that she said is she was expecting for them to give her a heads up. They ain't going to give you a heads up. You are not going to get a heads up. You should know when it's going to happen. She had an idea when it's going to happen, especially when you started to hear tariffs and layoffs and all that sort of stuff. You can just know what your company does and if you're going to be impacted by it. So you should already start thinking about a plan. You should have started thinking about a plan ever since Trump talking about this whole tariff situation. You have to get ahead of it. You have to be proactive. A lot of times we live in our own little world where we say, it ain't going to happen to us. It ain't going to happen to me. Baby, kid, new house. Boy, it can turn your life upside down if you're not doing the right thing. Hopefully for her, she'll be able to bounce back. She looks like a nice young woman who is very respectful. And we wish her the best. We wish her the best. Let's move on to the next one.
It's going to get ugly here pretty. Buckle up. Corporate Gen Xers, you better buckle up. It's going to get ugly here pretty quick. I mean, think about this. March was the third most layoffs in history. And that's when businesses were doing well and performing financially, right? This is, mass layoffs even after strong financial quarters. Now with the utter chaos in the stock market and what these companies, do you think they're going to sit still? Absolutely not. They're going to ramp up taking cost out of business. And again, who's going to be the brunt of it? Gen Xers. Because even though you have the most experience, wisdom, etc., they don't care. You're also going to be the most expensive. So if you thought you were going to be able to ride this out, things just took a turn and it's going to accelerate. There's just no doubt about it. Like I said, just look at the last 12 months where a lot of these companies were financially performing well and taking cost, basically people out of the business. It's only going to ramp up. So if you haven't made your plan B, I would highly encourage you to think about that now. Again, there's no reason why you can't start this process. Again, I talk a lot about monetizing your corporate experience. You've been doing it for 20 years, 25 years. You paid the price, you paid the dues. You might as well make some money from it. And small businesses are going to feel this, but not the same way that corporate's going to basically cut the costs. So if you've been thinking about escaping, curious about it, but haven't taken any action, now would probably be the time to do that. Unless you're one of the 20% that has enough in your 401k, which may have taken a hit. and can retire here in the next couple of years, you can ride it out. But if not, like I said, there's no better time to start preparing. And like I said, this is what I've kind of dedicated the last couple of years. Been doing this for 5 years, dedicated the last couple of years to helping others get out. So if you are curious, if you are nervous, I've got some free tools. Just go click the link in my profile. It's my link tree. Check out the free starter kit just to help you think through it.
Happy.
Let's talk about what he said. Gen Xers, right? Gen Xers typically are higher senior level managers, senior people, directors, VPs. Some of them even are CEOs, COOs, CIOs. Guess what's happening with a lot of these individuals? Guess what's happening at Amazon? Guess what's happening at Microsoft? Guess what's happening at Google? Guess what's happening at Apple? Guess what's happening at every single tech company or every industry or every company in every industry? They're trying to remove middle management. So just like you said, Gen Xers. That's Gen Xers for the most part. Gen Xers and millennials, us, they're getting rid of them. They're getting rid of people to reduce costs. And where they're going to start chopping first? They're going to start chopping where the highest salaries are. The people who make more money. And what are they going to do? They're probably going to replace you with 3 or 4 inexpensive young folks that they're going to bring in that can do the job. You can have as much experience as you want. You can have as much experience as you want. You can have 14 years, 13 years of experience doing the exact same thing, working for the same company. You can have 18 years of experience. What are they still going to do? They're going to bring somebody else in that can do that same job. And your $500,000 salary, your $200,000 salary, your $300,000 salary, gone. That's what's happening today. And companies are being rewarded for it. They're being rewarded for it. Their stock price isn't going to be harmed that much because when they aren't growing from a revenue standpoint, they have to get efficient. And not only that, here's the other piece of it, right? Automation is here. Automation is here. So they're going to say, all right, why am I going to spend, $700,000 a year pay package on John when I can just get, a VP and a couple, analysts to do the job of John for half the cost? Why not do that? And that's what you're seeing right now in the workforce. So he's right. Gen Xers. I would even tell you just like this. He's talking to everybody, although he seriously said Gen Xers. Figure out what your plan B is, because you may not be harmed by it now, but you will be harmed by it sometime in your career. Think about your plan B. This is why we have this channel, guys, to help people out, to help you think about all the things that you could be doing that can help you to stay afloat in the event that you get laid off. This is why we have this channel, is also to educate you on how to leverage the knowledge and the skills that you already have to make some money for yourself. This is why we have the channel, is to educate you on doing the right things versus the wrong things and to prepare yourself to have a plan B. He's doing the exact same thing. Brett Trainer. I love the name, by the way, Brett Trainer. He's preparing you because he's experienced it himself. And the last thing you want to do is be in your 50s and your 60s and you don't have a nice, savings and, a nest egg saved up to where you're really impacted and your kids are impacted and your wife is impacted. You don't want that financial stress. He just told you. Let's move on to the next one.
Check out
Happy Monday. Just got fired. Holy shit. I thought it was just like a normal routine meeting. And no, it was actually we're not moving forward with your employment. And you know what's so funny is like when you think that you finally find like a good job and like a company that cares about you, you're like, oh my God, I actually work for people that care. No, you don't. That was like the only stable thing that I had going on in my life right now. Whew, I was not expecting that. I would have never put money down on that happening. I literally just thought that was going to be a meeting. Happy Monday.
I'm on short notice and share my invite was rattling and not awesome, and you do not have to turn your camera on if you don't want to. I have a couple of notes to share with you, but so I'll be glad to get those notes to make sure I cover things, but I will also follow up with an email so you don't have to retain everything I'm going to say. I made the difficult decision to restructure the XD org, and as a result, reduce the size of the org. And unfortunately, you're impacted by this change. So your last working day is today, but the good news is you'll be paid through February 2nd. Those are the most important pieces of information. Your system access as an employee will be turned off at some point today. I'm not sure when exactly. In your Workday and Benefits portal, you'll still have access to until February 2nd as an employee, and then after that, you'll have access to it as an alumni. And then I'm going to email you the specifics of your severance, benefits, and a few other details that will probably be helpful later when you're ready to go through them. And then on your last day, you'll get your severance documents via DocuSign to sign, and I'll go to your personal email address. I want to pause. I know I just rattled off a whole bunch of really big news. Is there any questions or anything that you want to ask?
That was an awkward conversation. But I want you guys to think about the context of this whole thing. This is what it says at the top. If you guys aren't able to read it, and maybe you guys are catching us and just listening in. Point of view, you're single. You just bought a house. You went into credit card debt to furnish the house, and then you get laid off. You bought a house. You use all the money on your credit card to go and furnish the house. You know you spent a good amount of money. You know, sounds like she was in user experience, XD, they said. And you get laid off. And the previous woman, she was on there saying how her job was the only thing that she had going good for her, the only stability that she had. Guys, don't be that person. Don't be that person. You should have good people around you. Life should be good. How does life become good? By doing the right things, making the right choices, hanging around the good people, making a good amount of money, having freedom, having flexibility, not having a whole bunch of debt. That's how life becomes good. You see people who, you can see the wear and tear on people based on how they look, their facial expressions, their energy, their body language. You know how you look at somebody and you just look at them and you just like, man, that's bad energy. I was watching Pop the Balloon the other day. There was this girl that was on there. She was cute, but man, her energy was bad. Her energy was terrible. And I was like, her life is hard. Her life is hard. The four girls that was in front of her had a nice smile on, you know, very attractive. Genuinely, the face just looks soft. When you see somebody when they have that resting bee face, or they just look like you don't want to come close to them, they got that demon energy inside of them. And you only have that demon energy inside you when things are bad. It shows in your face. It shows. So if you don't want to have that energy, you got to hang around the right people. You got to do the right things in life. You got to make the right decisions. The mistakes that you have, fix them quickly and move on. Don't hold on. Don't dwell into it. Don't dwell into it. Be done with it. Okay, you get laid off. All right, now you got a booking coaching session. I appreciate you for the $9.99 super chat, Brother Cam. It says it's important that you always invest in yourself, and booking a coaching session with Antoine is a great first step. I did it, and now I'm earning north of six figures. He's absolutely right. Life of Cam and I have been working together for at least 2.5, 3 years. He went from being a military veteran to now being a civilian, and he's making Shit, more than me just about. He's doing fantastic. Just bought his first house, his first rental property. Guys, you got to invest in yourself. You got to get around the right people. You got to listen to the right things. You got to listen to the right music. You got to go to church. Whatever your religion is, find something that you care about. Because it ain't going to always be easy. But one of the things that you don't want to do is depend on it being your job. That lady, she depended on it being her job, the only stability that she has. A lot of times, that's what happens in life. A lot of the times, we work. And I love it. I love it when you work, guys. You have to have some balance with it as well, too. And don't just think your corporate job is what's going to hold you and make you who you are. Because as fast as you think it's going to make you who you are, you're wearing that badge of honor. I'm the VP. I'm the CEO. I'm XYZ. You're not going to be that person very much longer. You're not going to. And you've heard Gen Xers talk about it. You've heard and seen young ladies just talk about it, how they've been burnt by it and they didn't think this was going to happen, and it happened to them. This young lady right here went out and bought herself a nice house, bought some new furniture, paid it off with a credit card or put it on the credit card. Now look what's happening. Look what's happening. There's no loyalty there. When companies have to make decisions, ultimately it's just going to be people that gets hurt. And you're going to be one of the people that get hurt. Have a backup plan. Have a plan B. Let's continue on.
Are there any reasons other than
Intel is going to be laying off 20% of their workforce this week, and that comes after laying off 15% of their workforce last year. And y'all, Intel has 108,000 employees, so we're talking about over 20,000 people who will be losing their jobs this week. And their big pivot is going to be towards AI. So you can bet they're going to be hiring people who are either like building AI tools, who really understand machine learning, or who know how to use AI to increase their effectiveness. Now, y'all, I don't want to sugarcoat this, but if you want to be successful in this job market, you're going to need to do a couple of things. One, if you want to be successful, particularly in a tech environment, you need to be using AI. You need to understand how it works. You need to understand how people in your industry are using it, and you need to find ways to use it so that you can get more done with fewer resources. Because if you're not able to do that, they will fire you and replace you with someone who can. And you need to come to terms with the fact that if you live in the United States in 2025, you can't really count on your employer, nor can you count on your government to take care of you.
So I got
Guys, she said it. She said it. I'm in the field of AI. I'm in the field of workflow automation, efficiency. There are people that's calling us every single day to make the decisions of eliminating headcount, to make the decisions to make their company more efficient. What's the word of the year that I told you guys? Efficiency, efficiency, efficiency. That's what's happening. There's companies calling us every single day, looking at ways how they can become more efficient. Why? Because, again, the two levers that CEOs can pull, grow revenue or reduce costs. Those are big ones. Matter of fact, if you think about it from a CEO perspective, I haven't gotten into this article, and I'll hit it next week. This is a time right now where the majority, we've had the most CEO resignations in over a decade. The most CEO resignations in over a decade. What is that telling you guys? The last time that's happened was when we were in a recession. And guess what? It's impacting a whole bunch of people. You didn't even think about what she just talked about with Intel. Intel, and you guys saw the numbers of, that I talked to you guys about how many people Intel laid off. And I'll share that with you guys again. Intel is laying off in the month of April itself. Intel laid off 21,000. Well, Intel replaced its CEO as well. He had them going towards a shift of, hey, we're going to be able to compete in AI and chips and all this other stuff, and was late to the game. Well, Intel is a company that's been around for hundreds of years, if not 800 years. Right? They've been around for a very long time, close to 100 years, whatever it is, right? They've been around for a very long time. They had 108 employees. 21,000 of them have been let go in April. There's going to be another significant amount of layoffs that's going to happen at Intel. A lot of people. And whose fault is it? The leader of that company at that time. And who suffers from it? You. You. If you're not using AI, here's another thing she said. If you're not using AI, I'm telling you, if you guys aren't using it every single day, I'm showing you right now how to go out there and use it. I just use the tool called Perplexity. And I use Perplexity just about every single day for my news sources and just to get information on companies that, I manage and that sort of stuff. If you're not using AI every single day, there's going to be somebody who does do it and use it. And guess what? They're going to be a lot more efficient than you are. They're going to do the job in a lot less time. And they're not going to need you anymore if you don't use it. Because what used to take you 5 days takes somebody like me maybe 5 hours using AI. And that's the reality of it. And I know people who aren't using it. I know people who choose not to use it right now. And they just don't think of it because they're stuck in their old ways and don't want to change yet. There's somebody, and a good brother of mine, who's doing the job of 3 other people as a project manager right now because he uses AI. And guess what? They're going to bring in a project coordinator. If you are somebody who's a project manager that's not using AI, they're going to bring in a project coordinator. They're going to use AI and they're going to eliminate your job. That project coordinator is going to be making $80,000 while you are probably a project manager that's making about $130,000. They just saved themselves a whole bunch of money and going to get more work done. That's the new world, guys. That's the new world in 2025. Don't wait for somebody to come and save you because there aren't. Maybe in the pre-pandemic times, in the pandemic times, there was, a hope for you. Nah, with the leadership that we have at the top right now, there's no handouts. You got to get out there and work. You got to get out there and work. Nobody's going to come and save you. No company. They aren't loyal. No government. Right now, they don't care. At the end of the day, there's going to be hurt in the decisions that's being made at the top. They may be bad decisions for a whole bunch of people. They are good decisions for the country in some people's perspective. But either way, however way it went, you don't put tariffs, people are going to get hurt because inflation is so high. You got tariffs, people are going to get hurt because we import a whole bunch of goods. People are going to get hurt. You just need to make sure that you are looking out for yourself and don't think anybody else is looking out for you. And you need to be using AI
to take care of you.
So I got laid off today. The way it happened for me was it was a very last minute Teams meeting that they threw up on my calendar on a Friday morning with someone from HR and someone very high up who I frequently worked with. And the meeting lasted 3 minutes. I can't say I was taken aback because working in federal contracting, specifically with migrants, was bound to happen. I recently bought a house, so that just adds to the stress level here. Thankfully, I have some savings to fall back on, and hopefully I receive unemployment, but yeah.
Tell me something a job has taught you that you will never, ever forget, no matter what.
To not trust them. Like once you experience your very first corporate betrayal, you'll never, ever forget it. And you learn very quickly that the company will always look out for them. Do yourself a favor. Never fully trust them and always look out for you.
Tell me something.
Terminated. There's losing your job because you got fired, terminated, goodbye. There's also losing your job because cuts had to be made and you get laid off. Then there's losing your job because the whole company is disappearing. For the first time in my life, I'm experiencing this. I found out yesterday. I've already completed all 5 stages of grief. And now I'm sitting here thinking about it and going, first of all, it was not a shock. I work in influencer marketing. Okay, in the grand scheme of marketing, guess what departments get cut first? Influencer, right? If you're a major company, you're going to put your marketing budget in traditional marketing first. TV ads, billboards, etc. So influencer marketing being cooked when the economy is already overdone Not shocked. Not shocked at all.
There's a lot that was said over there. Don't depend on the job. When you feel when you feel that corporate burn, right? You learn your lesson. You should think about a plan B. You should have something else going on the side. You should be coaching on the side. You should be using your institutional knowledge to share that with other people. Don't get caught up. Man, she just said, hey, there's layoffs, there's people who are getting fired, and there's when your company goes away. And she was working in the digital marketing space. Company gone. What happens when budgets dry up? Where's the first that gets hit? Marketing. We're not going to spend any money on events. We're not going to spend any money on influencers. We're not going to spend any money on any conferences. Gone. Which is another thing I want to bring to your attention. You should be looking into sales roles and getting close to the customer. Customer success. Customer support. All these roles are important. Project management. All important roles that you should be looking at getting into, because a lot of the individuals who are getting laid off, if they aren't middle management, right? If it's typically right now, you're going to see a whole bunch of middle management being let go, people with higher salaries and so forth. But you're also going to see people who aren't close to the revenue getting laid off as well too. People who are close to revenue, people who are in sales, they always get fired, but you don't see as many of them getting fired because they are responsible for protecting the revenue and growing the revenue. Essential. You know how essential employees, right? They were deemed essential during the C-19 time. It was essential employees. Well, you should have roles. There are roles that exist out there where they are essential. And those roles are when you're close to the customer, when you're touching the customer, when you're close to the revenue, when you're bringing in the revenue. Those are the roles that you want to get into. Okay. You saw two times where young women said they just got laid off. They said they just bought a house. They said they just put that money or furnished a house on a credit card. That was twice that we saw that, right? Well, let's make a little bit of a pivot here. Because what happens when you lose your job and you just bought a house and you don't have savings? What happens when you lose a job and you do have a little bit of savings and you can't find a job in 6 months? Right? You blow through your savings. You may be getting evicted. You may be getting foreclosed on. What happens when you lose your job and you have rent, but you don't have any savings? You get evicted. What happens when landlords decide they want to increase prices on housing? They get their money and to weed out certain kinds of people. There's evictions, right? Well, let me give you guys a little bit of a background on what's going on right now with the evictions. I went to my AI site. I told you guys that you should be using AI. Check what's going on with evictions. Why are evictions increasing? Well, there's a number of reasons, a number of factors behind the surge of evictions. Number one is rising rents. The cost of renting has increased dramatically in the recent years, often outpacing wage growth. You already saw it in the previous administration's economy. Inflation was up what? How much was inflation up? 9%. Oh, a lot of printing money during the pandemic times, loans and government assistance and, all this sort of stuff. What did it do? Drove up inflation. There's a whole bunch of other things that happened during that time too, especially over the last 4 years that drove up inflation. Well, many renters spend more than 30% of their income on housing. with millions classified as rent burden or even severely rent burden. This mismatch makes it increasingly difficult for households to keep up on monthly payments, leading to higher eviction rates. Guys, when you're not making a lot of money, when there's inflation, you got people being laid off, and you got landlords that's saying, you know what? It's my time to get my money. I need to increase rents. I need to get rid of a certain group of people. What are they going to do? They're going to raise rents and get you out of there because there's going to be somebody who's going to pay it. So that's causing the evictions. What else is happening? There's a affordable housing crisis. Okay? The supply of affordable rental units have shrunk. It has shrunk. In 2022, the number of affordable units dropped by over 2 million compared to a decade earlier. So you have these, affordable housing, you get those vouchers and so forth. And typically you call that low income housing, right? Well, low income housing as a landlord, it's not very profitable because when you have low income housing, you're going to have a lot more repairs. Unfortunately, you're going to have a lot more complaints. You're going to have a lot more things happening in that area, more crime potentially. So what do these landlords say? They say, I don't want that foolishness around my house. I don't want that foolishness around my area. Well, if I get these people out, I can jack up rents and increase the value of my property. What are they doing? They're going to jack it up. They're going to increase rates, increase rents. And guess what happens then? What used to be affordable housing is no longer affordable. It's no longer affordable. Landlord cost increases. Well, with inflation, anytime you have a small repair, when you have to have somebody come service that, they charge you an arm and a leg. That's why it's also good to be in the trades or to have some skills where you can repair things yourself. They charge you an arm and a leg. You got to get the AC fixed. They're going to charge you a new AC, $10,000. You got to get the AC fixed. Let's say they don't charge you a new one. They're still going to charge you $1,000 to come out there and repair it. Just to come out there and look at it. You need some new lumber. You need some new wood. You need to build a deck. Cost of wood has gone up. You need some new food in the house. Cost of eggs went up. Oh, man. Eggs went up a tremendous amount. In the pandemic protections. During COVID-19 pandemic, evictions, there was a moratorium. There was emergency rental assistance programs. All that reduced eviction filings. All that's gone now. All that's gone. So if you think about it, here's a recent data highlights. In 2023, eviction filings in cities like Houston, Las Vegas, Columbus were 30 to 56% higher than pre-pandemic averages. Cities such as Gainesville, Minneapolis, Las Vegas have experienced eviction rate increases of over 40%. There's people getting evicted with all these layoffs happening too. What are the factors? Raising rents, affordable housing shortage, landlord cost increases, in the pandemic protections. All of this is happening right now, and you're getting ready to find out, and you're getting ready to see who is all impacting. Because you would probably think, this is going to be impacting a certain group of people. Nah, I'm about to show you right now.
So life update, I'm living in my car.
I don't want to hear shit that the economy is good right now. The economy is so good, oh my god, we're on the upper. No, we're fucking not.
I'm being evicted, and this was not a post I wanted to make.
I'm being evicted.
There's 4 million vacant homes right now in America today. You could literally give to someone. There's not shortage of housing in America. They're all over the place.
We are the richest country on the planet, one of the richest countries. Why does it look like ass?
So life update,
You heard it. You heard it. We're going to talk through each one of these. We're going to talk through each one of these today. People are having a hard time. Be grateful for what you have, guys. Be grateful for what you have. Let's check it out.
Living in my car, my little S10. This is me. It's my home for the foreseeable future. And yeah, I don't know what to do. And I don't really have anyone. I toured 2 apartments yesterday. I won't qualify for them because you have to make 2.5 times the over $1,200 rent a month. And I don't even make the rent a month. I've never been homeless before. But you know what? This is a really good story. Like, I can only go, I could go down, but like, I'm gonna go up from here. Cause then, like, I'm broke and homeless at 21. But like, that makes for such a good story. When I'm like, super successful and rich and like, doing so well and have so many people. I'm gonna have such a bomb starter story. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be like, I was broke and homeless at 21. And look where I am now. Boom. And it's gonna...
Check that out. Living in a car, 21 years old. Nobody to help her out. There's nobody coming to save you. There's not one person coming to save you. Not even a 21-year-old young girl. There's not nobody coming to save her. And guess what? If you don't have family, you don't have friends that you can rely on, you're going to be living inside your car. You're going to be living inside your car. You don't want that to be you. I don't want that to be you. It sucks. I mean, I would tell you this. This is going to make a good story because she's not going to like this feeling. And she's going to do whatever she can do to make sure that this never happens again. But you don't want that wake-up call. You don't want that wake-up call. That's a crappy wake-up call. To be broke and homeless, living inside your car. And some people have already experienced that already. And look how they turned their life around. And that's a good story for them to tell. But do you really want to tell that story when you can not do that? Boy, that sucks. That freaking sucks. But hey, you know what? Some people they turn into billionaires and millionaires from this story. So if this is what people have to go through in order for them to change and create a life that they want to, that's what can happen. There's always going to be a good that comes out of situations like this if you turn it around. And in her situation, I think she'll be able to do it. Let's move on.
Now, boom, and it's gonna...
$6 for a bag of... Like, is this a sign that we're in an economic crash? $6 for a bag of chips. And we're in the high desert. This is supposed to be cheap. How much is it for these pennies? Probably about $6 too. $4 for a bag of Cheetos. 2 for $7. Everything here is expensive.
Hey, you guys don't have
Look at this. $6.30 for a protein shake.
Man, you remember when we used to be able to get protein shakes and a bag of chips for like a couple dollars? Whose economy messed this whole thing up, man? Whose economy messed this whole thing up? Huh? Whose economy messed this whole thing up? Guys, I saw a, let me share this with you guys real quick. Let me blow this up so you guys can see it. I saw this Reddit post, and this is a chart that was done by GovStat. And it showed the price increases from the end of 2019 to mid 2024 for fast food items, Taco Bell, McDonald's, right? They even got Chick-fil-A on there as well too. But for a medium fry in 2019, we was paying $1.79 for a medium fry. Mid 2024 price, $4.19, 134% increase. For a McChicken, we used to pay $1.20. You guys remember the dollar menu? For a McChicken. In the 2019 prices, $1.29. Mid 2024, $3.89. Big Mac, $3.99. I remember a Big Mac. You used to get a Big Mac when you had a little bit of money because you wanted you had 5 items on, you had $5, so you can get like 5 items or you can get 4 items, right? It'd be total of like a little less than $5 with taxes and stuff like that. But now with these prices, $5 doesn't go anywhere now. You can't get a Big Mac. A Big Mac is $7.49 now, 87% increase. 10 McNuggets used to be $4.49. Now 10 McNuggets cost you $7.58, a 68% increase. A cheeseburger used to be $1. Man, you used to go to the McDonald's and get about 4 or 5 cheeseburgers, hang out with your friends. I lived off cheeseburgers when I was in college. Now, a single cheeseburger costs $3.15. Talk about prices. Beefy 5-layer burrito used to be $1.69. Mid 2024, $3.69. Insane. Absolutely insane. If I look at the Gemini, and it says that since overall consumer prices have gone up quite a bit based on analysis of government data like the Consumer Price Index (CPI), items were roughly 23% more expensive in early 2025 compared to February 2020, just before the pandemic significantly impacted the economy. Insane. Absolutely insane. And you can even look at it from 2020 to 2024. Things went up a significant amount. That's what y'all wanted.
Almost $2 for water.
I don't want to hear shit that the economy is good right now. The economy is so good, oh my god, we're on the up. No, we're fucking not. My tacos are $3.25 each right now. Each. They used to be $1.75. I just paid $12 for 2 fucking tacos in a medium horchata. I used to be able to get 2 tacos in a large horchata, hand them a $10 bill, and get change back. What the fuck?
We just talked about the price of tacos, right? Oh man, I'm a big fan of salt and vinegar chips, right? I'm a big fan of salt and vinegar chips. I just remember growing up, me and my boys, we were in middle school. We used to walk to the convenience store. We used to be able to get a bag of salt and vinegar potato chips, Lay's ones, for about 25 cents, man. That shows you, man. Now, a bag of salt and vinegar chips, the big bags, they're not Lay's. These aren't the Lay's ones. These are the kettle corns. Close to $7. It's close to $7. She's complaining about her Taco Bell. Her Taco Bell, she said you should call her $1. Costs $1.75. $3-something. $3-something. Ant Dog says, why she still buy it? She hungry, Ant Dog. She lazy. Well, another reason why is because all food is expensive. A lot of people say, okay, well, you know what? The reason why people buy fast food is because they're lazy and they don't like to cook. Well, let me tell you like this. Fast food is cheaper than real foods. It is. Even that has gotten expensive, though. Even that has gotten expensive. You remember when eggs were $7 for a dozen? Or more than that. I forgot. My wife was looking at eggs when right before Trump took office. You're talking about egg prices. And she was telling me how much it cost for a dozen of eggs. Right? She still bought them, but it costs a lot of money compared to before for a dozen of eggs. Absolutely insane. Now egg prices have dropped a significant amount, a good amount. You can thank your boy that you don't want to get credit to. But I'm happy that eggs are cheap again, because here's why. My wife makes a fantastic breakfast baked casserole. Oh, I'm telling you, fantastic. And she uses it for that. Okay? She uses it for any of the baking that she's going to be doing. my mom, all that sort of stuff, right? We got Memorial Day coming up. We got 4th of July coming up. I like a lot of food with eggs in it. And when eggs are expensive, it's bad. We had just had Easter. You had kids who had to go and do Easter egg hunts. You needed some eggs. Oh, man. Aunt Dog says $12. I could have made 12 tacos. No cap, and still probably had change. Aldi. Hey, man, if you can spend $12 at Aldi and make tacos and have a whole bunch of food, that's the best way to do it. That's the best way to do it. She ain't gonna do that. She's lazy. She's lazy, man. Darkman Jeff said, shout out to wifey, man. Hopefully I'll find mine one day, man. I be rooting for you, Jeff. I'm rooting for you, man. You got to get on one of those apps. Get on those Christian apps, Darkman Jeff. Get on those Christian apps, man. See how that's gonna work out for you, man. But we're rooting for you, brother. I know you're gonna find it. And get outside of your comfort zone. I'll tell you that too. Get outside of your comfort zone for a little bit. Don't think she's going to come up to you. Go and make it happen. You'll find her. There's a lot of good women out there, man. There's a whole bunch. Now, and also get away from that red pill stuff. Because when you listen to that red pill stuff, your paradigm is messed up. All you see is blue. And when there's actually red and purple and yellow and orange that's out there. So you gotta change that up a little bit, man. You'll be able to find her. Marathon says we're going to be having sleep for dinner. We're going to be having sleep for dinner soon. Oh, man. Operator Take Care said, yep, 4 bags for $1. That's right, man. You missed those. You remember that, Brother Scott. 25 cents for some Lay's chips, man. Barbecues, get some salt and vinegars. You used to get some sour cream and onion. You get some sour cheddar. What's this? Sour cream and cheddar. Oh, man. Used to have a whole bunch of good ones. Whole bunch of good stuff. Notary World says, Professor Blackout, cybersecurity for the people. Thanks. Just sub to your channel. Yeah, Professor Blackout's in the house. Good to see you, my man. Good to see you, my big bro. Aunt Dog says, my daughter will certainly have a home with me at 21. I would agree with that too, guys. Make sure that you have a relationship with your daughter where if she's homeless, she has a place called home. This girl was crying, living in a car. There's nobody to call. Dad, mom. My daughter's homeless at that, something happens. Hey, I'm coming to get you. I'm coming to get you. But as the older lady said, and the wise lady said, nobody's coming to save you. Let's move on.
I don't want to hear.
There's 4 million vacant homes right now in America today. You could literally give to someone. There's not shortage of housing in America. They're all over the place. But the government says, we have to build something new and we have to raise dollars and we need to make another rule and another law. It's not necessary, okay? Go to Dubai. Look how they're building over there. I go to New Jersey. I cross the river over there. It takes 7 years to build something.
So you think it's regulations?
100% regulation. And they should give incentives to a guy like me. I have 15,000 apartments. 1,000 of them are vacant right now. If they came to me and said, fill those units up, we'll give you no taxes on those 1,500 units. I fill them up.
Grant Cardone said, man, they don't want you living in those places. They say that they want to build new places for you. There's a housing shortage. There's not a housing shortage, guys. There's not a housing shortage. They just don't want you into their places. That's all. They don't want you in it. They got builders out here. They got people who want to do the work. They don't want you in it. That's interesting, ain't it? That's interesting. If the government wants to make it happen, they can make it happen. 1,500 units that he has vacant right now. If the government says, Grant, I want you to fill every single one of those units up. We'll pay you XYZ dollars. Do it the right way. You'll do it. They don't want to do it. They just want to talk about it. Drive the prices up. Nobody coming to save you, man. Nobody coming to save you. As much as you're going to believe that you're going to vote for certain parties and they're going to trick you into giving you this and making you feel a certain way. Not going to happen. Not going to happen.
Give you no taxes on those 1,500 units. I fill them up.
Everything's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Everything's okay.
I'm being evicted and
That man went through it just now. He went through it just now. He said everything's okay. Everything ain't okay. Everything ain't okay with him. Feel bad for him, man. I feel bad for him. Brother Professor Blackhouse, thank you so much for a $10 super chat. He said, Gen Xers, getting ready for the recession. Great info. Join the Patreon, guys. I'm telling you guys right now, get ready. The recession is already here. It's getting ready to impact a significant amount of people. A significant amount of people. Let's look at this one right here. From corporate to DoorDash. Listen to her story.
evicted, and this was not a post I wanted to make. I was hoping you all were never going to know about this, and now I'm sharing it because I don't know what else to do, and going to kind of turn to my viewers to ask for support. I've been living in my studio apartment for almost 7 years now. I've never missed payment. I've only been late once, and that was just by a few days. I'm not able to make April's rent payment. It has, as of yesterday, I have received the default letter. And if I don't pay the rent plus the late fee by Friday the 11th, it will be turned over to legal. And a ton more fees, and the eviction process started. Never thought I would be in this situation, starting over again. I'm facing eviction. I just got to my second job.
From corporate to DoorDash to eviction. But this also makes you look at the decisions that we make with the partnership. I can't imagine doing life on my own. I couldn't imagine early on doing life on my own. Me and my wife had to work in order for us to get started in a good financial way early on. I had to have a partner. In order for us to buy our first house, my wife chipped in. In order for us to buy our first house, I chipped in. In order for us to buy our first house, we had to commit to savings. We had to set a goal for ourselves. Buying your first house, that's where you probably develop a good amount of wealth off of your first house, right? You got to have a partner to do it. It's so much harder to do it on your own. And it sounds like, and it looks like, this lady probably tried to do it on her own. She's bought in to the corporate world. Maybe divorced, who knows? But living in a studio apartment 7 years, obviously she's not married. Don't be fooled also with what they're telling you to go out there and do it on your own. Because what happens then? You go out there and do it on your own. You're living a good life, potentially. But when things hit the fan, you're left by yourself. You're faced with an eviction. You're faced with looking for others for support. Nobody's going to come and help you. They're going to say, you made that decision. You made that decision. And that sucks. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled.
Facing eviction.
I just got to my second job, and when I came out my front door, I found this sitting on my welcome mat. To add to my stress in life, I'm being evicted. Melissa, and she couldn't even spell my name right. Your lease will not be renewed after this month. You need to vacate the property by May 16th. My number is blah blah blah. Or contact me online on Messenger as we have previously corresponded. If you have any questions, you will need to leave your apartment open and your keys on the counter. I will return your security deposit within 30 days. I have no money and nowhere to go. Being an adult is great.
Wisconsin. Second job. You can see it in her face. I talked to you guys about having a rough life, what it looks like on people. Having a rough life, how it looks like on people. This is what it looks like. Working 2 jobs. Not being married. Being food. Having a whole bunch of student debt. This is what it looks like. This is the face that it looks like. It looks rough. It looks rough. People say, oh, you know what? Married women, nah, we don't want that. We don't want that. Living in a household where you're married, you're too controlled. Look at the face of a married woman who's treated very well. Go out there and do the things that she wants to do. Go get her nails done. Go get her hair done. Get her eyebrows arched. You know the kind of conversations that they have. You know the kind of conversations they have with the husbands. I'll tell you the kind of conversations they have. Maybe what do you want for dinner tonight? Oh, you know what? Maybe a little fight. Baby, I want sloppy joes. Or I can cook sloppy joes, or I can cook fajitas, or I can cook steak. Oh, baby, I want sloppy joes. Man, I just bought the chicken. I had this chicken out. Get mad about that. That's the kind of conversation you have because you got 3 options. You got multiple options. Okay, well, you know what? What are the other conversations? Conversations about, oh, babe, you know what? You telling me to cut back on going out to coffee for 4 times a week. Instead of 4 times a week, I want you to cut back and make coffee in the house for 3 times a week. Little things like that. That's the kind of fights that you have. You don't have any major fights. Yeah, you have conversations about, what are some of the things that's going on in our house? Perimenopause. I don't even know what it is, but I keep hearing the word all the time because that's what the women talk about these days. All that sort of stuff that a lot of it don't make sense, but it's a different kind of a challenge than what people are feeling when they're facing the evictions. Different kind of look in their face as well, too. Soft, helpful, comfort, lovely, not angry, not want to bite anybody's head off, have that energy that you just want to say hi to. That's the life of a woman that's living a good life. And you're going to sacrifice that because the world tells you that you should go out there and, play around with so many people and do it all on your own, and you can get the bag all you want. You're going to sacrifice that. And this is how you're going to look when it hits the fan. That's how you're going to look. You're going to look old. You're going to look dusty. People are going to be able to tell on your face that you had a bad life. That's what it is. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Me and my wife, we don't fight about very much at all. As a matter of fact, we don't even fight. We might be a little bicker every once in a while. Or attitude. Oh, why'd you say that? Because I'm direct. Oh, I'm sorry, babe. I'm sorry, babe. Versus fighting over, something so crazy. Oh, man, I can't make rent. Oh, babe, we can't eat that tonight. Nah. No, you don't have those kind of fights when you have your right. You don't look that way when you have your shit right. Just the reality of it, guys. If she had a man, you wouldn't be looking like that. I'm telling you.
Being an adult is great.
Here's my question. What are poor people supposed to be doing? Like, everyone's like, hey, you should be stockpiling because the cargo ships aren't coming into the ports anymore, so we're not going to be having any more products delivered to America. You know what I'm saying? And they're saying, stock up on all the essentials. Okay, I can barely afford the things that I need for this week, let alone stocking up. So what are the poor people supposed to be doing? Anyone?
So no one is.
I'm telling you, Denise. Menopause, man. Perimenopause. Well, I don't know what it's called. It's all called something. Some of y'all and women be talking about now where it's like premenopause or whatever it is. I have no idea. I don't know what it is. I just hear the term. And I'm like, what are you talking about, Teresa? Oh, this is what's going on. And it's becoming the normal talk in the women's circle and all this other stuff. Yeah. All right, babe. All right. Okay. Need hormone injections and all this other stuff, you know? All right, babe. All right. How much is it going to cost, babe? All right, cut it out. All right. That's it. That's a conversation. I'm telling you, man. Denise says, that's sad. My family is all in Wisconsin. I went to the East Coast to marry, so I wouldn't end up like this. I'm telling you. You don't do it. I'm glad that you didn't, Denise. You had to make sure because you live in a place like Wisconsin. They tell you, do it all by yourself, especially in Madison. Do it all by yourself. You're smart enough. Yep. Follow a crowd of everybody. You're going to look like everybody. Follow the crowd of everybody. You're going to do the same thing that everybody does. When shit hits the fan, you're going to be in a bad spot. Listen to this last one.
Saying the quiet part out loud, and I haven't seen anybody say this out loud, so I'm going to say it out loud. Once these tariffs go in and we see these price increases, that's going to be our new normal. The prices are not going to come back down. I don't for the life of me seeing that if/when these tariffs go away, corporations are going to willingly lower the prices back because they're going to have a new baseline for what their record profits are. So if they increase the prices on goods that we're receiving today, they're not going to decrease it just because tariffs are going away. And I feel like we've seen this with COVID. When prices go up, they don't come back down after the crisis, and things have not returned back to normal, at least for me. I'm noticing that the same items that I was buying about 5 years ago are have a % increases when I go to buy those same items. And another thing is I saw somewhere that phone companies are also putting tariffs on stuff. And for me, it makes sense if I'm buying a physical device, like a phone, an AirPod, or whatever the device is, to have to pay a tariff on it. But if these tariffs are going on voice lines, like voice calling, texting, that just kind of speaks to the greed. And that just kind of reaffirms my belief that once these tariffs go in, those are going to be our new normal prices. And I don't for the life of me see corporations raising the wages of everyday people to kind of account for these increases. So
nope, they're not going to. Matter of fact, they're going to lower it. Because guess what? There's going to be somebody who wants to take the job. You remember, all the jobs that we didn't want, all the jobs that you say you didn't want, the manufacturer jobs and all the jobs of doing all the field work and being outside all day. Guess what's going to happen in the corporate world now? Those type of jobs where nobody wants, that's going to be happening in the corporate world as well, too, for some of us. But there's going to be a whole group of people that has AI and that want those jobs. Jobs that were once paying $150,000 a year, they get ready to be $80,000 a year, and there's going to be people that want those jobs. And guess who's going to get them? Those people who want them. That's using AI. I'm telling you, salaries and everything are decreasing, especially in corporate America. With AI, it's decreasing. I really think, personally, with these tariffs, I'll tell you like this, man. It may be a good thing. Maybe a good thing. Yes, it's going to cause some things to go up, but I think it's also going to cause some things to go down too. Maybe it's going to be a good thing. Maybe manufacturing jobs are going to be Either those type of jobs are going to be jobs that are really going to create the middle class again and make things stabilize. But although luxury goods they're going to be luxury, and there's going to be a set of goods that are going to come in and knock some of those luxury goods down. An innovation that's going to happen. Maybe that's going to happen. Who knows? I don't know. We're going to find out, though. We're going to find out real quick. Because how things are quickly changing, you already know that there's going to be a whole bunch of people that's going to win from this. So what side are you going to be on? You're going to be on the side that's going to be complaining about, oh, prices keep going up. Or you're going to be on the side that says, you know what, let me just take advantage of this. Let me just skill up. Let me just skill up. Let me just skill up. Let me just learn AI. Let me go to learn machine learning. Let me read. Let me talk to the right people. Let me get in sales. Let me get close to the customer. Let me do my little side gigs. Let me enjoy myself, get around the right people, and make the right moves. That's the side, and that's the decision that you should make. Don't sit here and dwell on, all these layoffs are happening and, oh man, the world is going to screw me over and all this other stuff. Nope. Look forward. It's the best time to be alive right now, man. It's the best time to be alive right now. Better opportunities to make money. I'm able to reach people in Africa. I'm able to reach people in India. I'm able to reach people all over the world just by having a platform like this. That means I can make money all over the world. You're able to do the exact same thing. Doesn't have to be on YouTube, could be on TikTok, could be on Instagram, whatever it is. You're able to create a job for yourself. You're able to do it. Automation, AI. I mean, like, there are going to be CEOs. You remember how CEOs used to get, these big pay packages, and they're still getting these big pay packages, $60 million and $80 million. CEO salaries are going to be reduced as well, too. It's going to be to get people like me and Professor Black Ops who have years of experience, who have access to AI that can be a CISO. And I don't need to take $1 million pay package. Yeah, I don't need 23 million. I need give me 2. That's what you can do. That's what's going to happen, guys. These pay packages are going to be going down. But you have to stay educated. You have to work with people. You have to have a presence. You have to build a brand for yourself. You do that, you'll be in good shape. But guys, Christian, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Remember the story of the grasshopper and the ants, he says? During good times, you need to build more skill and invest, not spend money recklessly without saving. So when the bad times come, you're prepared. Exactly. 100%. When the times are good, you should be investing, you should be saving, you should be paying off all your debt. You should be getting rid of all of it. Because when the bad times happen, you'll be able to leverage that to fall back on. You'll be able to leverage that to fall back on. Do the stuff now. Don't wait. Don't get home from work after 6 o'clock and you're getting your pajamas and you're on your phone and you're working on your hands and on your Instagram, on your Netflix. Nah, man. Don't do that. Take an hour, take 2 hours, learn AI. Play with it. Ask it some questions. Let it give you an answer. Ask it further questions. Let it give you further answers. Think about doing something where you can leverage the skills that you already have. And I was in a coaching call with one of my clients. And literally, she had an idea of what she wanted to do. And we were talking through it of what her background was and so forth, and some of the areas that she can go down and what her interests are. And I, in my head, my mind was like formulating an opinion That's what you do as a coach, but you don't want to say it. So in this session, I'm talking and I'm like, okay, well, let's open ChatGPT. Let's open Google Gemini. And I had her write prompts of what it is that she likes, her skills, her strengths, areas that she don't like, blah, blah, blah. And I had her put a significant amount of detail into that prompt. And I asked her to ask the prompt, what would be like the best career for me to make a career shift? And it gave her the answer that I knew it was going to give her based on what was in my head. My point about saying this is that if you're thinking about making a transition or you're thinking about doing something else and you don't know where to start, a good place to start is one, a coaching call with me. Okay. Another good place to start if you're not going to book a coaching session is to use AI. Use AI. Start with a little prompt is like this. My name is XYZ. This is my career right now. This is how many children I have. This is the types of jobs that I like to do. Or this is the job that I currently have. I hate my job. I want to pivot somewhere. I'm getting these skills or I have these skills. This is what people told me that I'm good at. This is what I like to do. This is what I don't like to do. This is what my boss said I was good at. This is what, how fast I read, blah, blah, blah. Enter it in and then ask it, what is the best career for me? And let it see what it comes back with. Now you have an idea. You have an area that you can focus on. Because a lot of the times when people have challenges, they have challenges making a decision and coming down to an answer. Well, if somebody told you an answer, there you go. Make the decision then. Go that direction. It's like they're looking for a place on a map. And they can come to you with a coaching call and you can be like, go there. Right? But a lot of times you have to make them realize where there is. That's what a good coach does. Go there. That's where you should go. And a lot of times people just need that direction because they don't know how to make their own decisions. That's what I tell people to go use AI. Even in videos that I make, the comment section. What should I do? Should I go back to school? Should I do this? Book a coaching session. That's what you should do. Book a coaching session. Or use AI. Guys, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us this Monday. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for the super chats today. What a fantastic show. You guys see that you're blessed. If you got a job right now, you're blessed. If you're making money right now, you're blessed. If you have a house and a roof over your head, you're blessed. If you have a wife or a husband, you're blessed. No matter how hard it gets, you're blessed. You got a mom and dad, you're blessed. You got brothers and sisters that you talk to, you're blessed. You got little problems, you're blessed. Be happy with what you got. Things could always be better, but be happy where you're at. And continue to make strides towards where you want to go. If you do that, you guys will be elevating to the unknown. We'll see you guys on the next one. Until next time, guys. Peace.
God damn!
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left.
Good to see you, Dark Man Jeff. Thank you so much, Denise. Good to see you, Christian. I appreciate you. Get to see you pretty soon. We'll be hanging out real soon, my man. Good to see you, Ant Dog. Good to see you, PBO. I appreciate you, brother. NCGNTO. Good to see you, my man. Corey Reynolds. Good to see you, my man. Brother Damien in the house. Good to see you, brother. Marathon. Good to see you. Life of Cam, good to see you, my man. Notary Row, good to see you. Z Collabo was in the house, good to see you, my man. Brother Orlando Minor was in the house, good to see you. Sarita was in the house, good to see you, Sarita. NC Realtor, good to see you.